here for a lifetime underneath the moonlight. Cause I don't want us to go. No, I don't want us to go. Yeah, you could be my lifeline, you could be my sunshine. In a world so full of pain, can you make it go away? Used to be so sad that love was lost, but now it's here to stay. Yeah, I used to be uncomfortable, but look at me today. Never thought I'd find someone like you, someone to show the way. But now I know you're the answer to my prayer. You and me must be right. Something's in the air, I can feel it now. You and me must do something right. We can't get enough of us. You and me every night, aiming for the stars with the love so bright. You and me must do something right. Baby, I believe in us. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, yeah. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, yeah. I'm sorry for the burden, sorry I was hurting, but my scars are almost healed. Yeah, my scars are almost healed. Yeah, I'm feeling like a child now. Everything's alright now, and it's all because of you. You made the flower in me bloom. Used to be afraid of everything, but now there's no more fear. Yeah, I used to let nobody in and hide my face with tears. Always thought of you as someone who can love someone like me, but I was wrong. Baby, now I believe. You and me must be right. Something's in the air, I can feel it now. You and me must do something right. We can't get enough of us. You and me every night, aiming for the stars with the love so bright. You and me must do something right. Baby, I believe in us. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, yeah. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, yeah. You and me must be right. Something's in the air, I can feel it now. You and me must do something right. We can't get enough of us. You and me every night, aiming for the stars with the love so bright. You and me must do something right. Baby, I believe in us. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me.
Hey, everybody. Welcome in, welcome in. This is going to be a great episode, guys. Ooh, yes. Mm, 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 3, 2, 1. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to the Danae Show. I am Danielle Danea, aka Danae, and I've got a lot to say. So let's get into it. Who was really wrong? Who was really in the wrong here? Let's talk about it. But before we start to talk about it, guys, I'm back. I know I took a week off. I know you guys missed me. I missed you guys too. I really did. But I was just like, you know what? I reached my 100th episode, a huge milestone. You guys that know me, it's really hard to be consistent when it comes to this because I have so many other things going on. I have my Danea lingerie site or website, and then I have modeling going on and acting right now, taking acting classes, going to auditions. So it was a lot going on, but I also wanted to, improve a little bit my background. You see these lovely feathers? My boyfriend and I put these up the other day. So cute. Little tweaks are going to be happening here and there, but yeah, I was so glad that I got to take a little break, even though it wasn't that much of a break. I didn't get to see you guys, that's why I call it a break. But I'm back, and what a topic to come back with. You guys will be intrigued, I believe in this topic. So here we go. So when I said who was really in the wrong here, I'm speaking about President Donald Trump. I'm speaking about Vice President J.D. Vance or President Zelenskyy. I'm asking which one of them was in the wrong. Are all three of them in the wrong when it comes to this particular situation? If you guys don't know what situation I'm talking about, let me tell you what I'm talking about. So if you were living under a rock again, because this was everywhere. Every time I opened my phone, I saw this. 3 days ago, President Donald Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance, and the Ukrainian President Zelenskyy sat down at the Oval Office and had a conversation about how they're going to end this war in Ukraine that's been going on for 3 years now. I did my research, and that's what they said, 3 years. And let me tell you, the conversation was very interesting. And what also was interesting is that I only saw clips being posted. So I was like, you know what, knowing me, I was like, I know, being just logical, I know there's more to this video. So I went and did my research, found the full clip. Thank God for Fox, because I really love Fox News, because they really post everything that needs to be posted. There's an unbiased there. I know people think they lean more toward the right, more toward, Republicans, but I don't believe that. I think they, are very unbiased when it comes to the stuff they put out. But anyway, they posted the full meeting, no interruptions, which was great because, again, it was so hard to find. And people don't know this, but the whole meeting lasted a good while. It lasted 50 minutes. And that's crazy because if you were on the internet like me, a lot of the clips that were being shown were like bits and pieces of the last 10 minutes, I would say. Whereas the first 40 minutes were completely different than what happened in the last 10 minutes. Obviously, everybody posted the animosity between President Donald Trump and Zelenskyy at the end. But it was very interesting to me watching the full clip because most of the clip, they were completely fine. They were respectful. There was no animosity. They kept it cute, kept it respectful, like I said. So, yeah, and I'm glad I got to watch the full clip in its entirety because it gave him so much more context than that little clip did. And you got to realize it really opened my eyes again. It's like people love to misconstrue facts. And, just watching that last bit of what happened in this full meeting made you think like, Donald Trump, went into this meeting maybe already, maybe on the fence of being nice to this man after, what has happened, all the casualties that have came from this war. And it's like, no, if you watch the initial part of this meeting, he kept it, like I said, it's very nice. You wouldn't think he had a problem with Zelenskyy at all. Very respectful. Again, there was a reporter even, and there were reporters in there asking questions. And there was a reporter that asked, that's Zelenskyy if he thinks that Donald Trump is on their side. And Donald Trump was like, of course I am. I wouldn't even have this meeting if I wasn't, trying to back them, trying to make peace, right? Valid point. It's like, why would he have him over if you just wanted to yell at him all day? Yet the whole interview, there was so much more that happened, again, that, gives you so much perspective on what's going on, gives you a better of opinion about what exactly happened. So, again, people that just like to look stuff on Instagram, be mindful. These are just clips. Look, do your research like me. Watch and look for the entirety of what happened. Because, again, people love to misconstrue things to be and want people all riled up. Again, we all know mainstream media and the people behind these posts, they want to get you riled up and in your feelings and react just based off that one clip, and not really look for the full context, not be logical enough to want to understand what's really happening. So this is a perfect example of that. Be mindful of that. Again, the full clip is on Fox, guys. They posted it, I think, a few days ago. But anyway, so in the beginning, like I said, the conversation was very respectful. Zelenskyy actually thanks Donald Trump twice for having him there And Donald Trump gives credit to the generals in the Ukrainian military, I'm guessing, for fighting in this unnecessary war. And Zelenskyy shows, you can see him showing pictures of what has happened to a lot of people in his country, the suffering, the people that are miserable. And Trump is sympathizing with him. And Trump is asking questions, making jokes. The reporters there are asking questions. One of the reporters asked a question why Zelenskyy wasn't wearing a tie and or a suit, pardon me. And I was thinking that too. When I first saw him, I was like, why isn't this man wearing a tux when everybody else is? Or and a suit, pardon me. And he responds back. He's like, I would. And he follows up. The reporter asks if he, even has a tie. He's like, he has a suit. And he's like, Zelensky's like, yes, I have a suit. Like, this is what I decided to wear. And, it's no disrespect to Donald Trump. It's just what I decided to put on, and kind of moves on. And then later says, he wants to talk about more serious things than what he decided to wear, which is valid. But I think, just my opinion, I think he should have worn a suit. Absolutely. This is the Oval Office, guys. This is a president. There's a level of respect that just comes with wearing a suit. People in the comments were saying, a lot of people that, just hate Trump, wanted to say that Elon Musk repeatedly has been in the Oval Office without a suit. To him too, I think he should have been in a suit as well, if that's the case. I know it's the case. I've seen Elon Musk in the Oval Office without a suit on, but the same thing goes to him. It's not bias for me. I think they both should have had a suit on. But anyway, I think it was great that they were so cordial in the beginning. I think it was great that they were making jokes about, him wearing the suit and not, and they were laughing, but even though there wasn't as much laughs on Zelensky's part, I think there was some type of language barrier there. I think, when someone's, I think everybody should keep this in mind. When someone's first language isn't your first language, you need to have a level of grace there, because English, absolutely, too. English is the hardest language to learn. I say this to anybody, and I have to give so much credit to people that know multiple languages, and English being a language that they learn after their initial language, because it's so hard. We have not just our language, we have so many jokes and things we say that another country or somebody who just learned English wouldn't pick up on. So I think there was some of that in here. I'm going to get into that a little later, but I think a little more grace should have been had for Zelenskyy when he said certain things. And but you could tell on his face that throughout this, even though he would crack a smile and crack a joke from time to time with Donald Trump, he looked confused. He looked like he was unhappy about something. He looked a little irritated. I don't know if that was because he felt like maybe he couldn't say as much as he wanted to. Maybe he didn't understand some of the questions that were asked by the reporters. He did ask for clarity one time of what the reporter was saying, and Donald Trump clarified. But I think, he did that once, and he might probably felt like he didn't want to keep doing that. And I'm really good at reading people's body language and facial expressions. And I something was off there for sure. It might be more to what I see, but there was a little bit of irritation there. And that didn't start initially. That happened like a little bit, like, I don't know, like 5 to 10 minutes in, maybe 15 minutes. It was like right before the reporter started asking questions, his facial expressions and his mannerisms started to change. So I feel him, and I wonder if that was because, like I said, he was uncomfortable or he wasn't truly understanding what was being said around him. So there's that, right? But again, super respectful until it hits the end, guys. And what happens is people think, and it's so crazy because people think, this, everybody just posted that last clip of Zelenskyy and Trump arguing. It was because of something Zelenskyy said and Trump responded. Yeah, but people don't realize JD Vance was actually the initiator to the drama. And I'll explain why that was. So they're having a conversation. And then JD Vance comes in and says that the path to peace is through diplomacy. He mentions before, he says that we had a president for the past 4 years. He's speaking about Biden, who, said he would do a lot of things and didn't, right? And he was like, no, we need a president that, says one thing and does the exact same thing. And we need diplomacy. The peace is through action and the peace is through diplomacy, right? And then Zelenskyy comes back, understandably so, might I add. And I'll tell you why. Zelenskyy asked J.D. Vance, well, we tried that when it comes to Putin. He said, when he says we, he was talking about the president of France, the president of the UK. He came together and agreed to a ceasefire. And it didn't work. Putin, the president of Russia, was like, F this, and started the war anyway. So Zelenskyy was basically like, okay, well, what diplomacy are you talking about? Because we tried that and it didn't work. So what diplomacy do you suggest? And J.D. Vance butts back and says, the diplomacy that is going to save your country, not really answering the question. And I, again, think it was a valid question because obviously you asked, like, if something doesn't work, if someone is offering you a solution and you've tried that solution and it didn't work, it just makes sense for you to ask what else, because this clearly doesn't work. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over again and expecting different results. So I think Zelenskyy asked a valid question. Nobody's speaking about that enough. So yeah, but then J.D. Vance's response saying, the type that will save your country is wild. And then the fact that he follows it up with, he's being disrespectful, litigating this issue in front of the mainstream media, or the media period. And it's just like, this is why y'all are streaming it, no? To litigate this issue, no? But the moment he says something, he asks you a valid question and you can't really answer it, you get defensive and start calling him disrespectful when nobody thought he was being disrespectful in that moment. I know I didn't. Now, there's some people that do call him disrespectful, but again, they just show that small clip of him disrespecting Donald Trump. But initially, I don't think Zelenskyy disrespected J.D. Vance. Now, putting myself in J.D. Vance's shoes, I like to put myself in other people's shoes to try to gain perspective. This is this perspective I'm giving is from an unbiased outsider opinion. But if I put myself in J.D. Vance's shoes, maybe I would have maybe felt disrespected, because the fact that, Zelenskyy was mentioning all the support he got from France and the UK and didn't really acknowledge the support he got from America, it was kind of like, dang, okay, well, you also got our support from us. Why aren't you mentioning that? But at the same time, I don't think the way he said what he said, it didn't give off disrespect. It really gave off like he really wanted to answer. He just wanted to know. He's making an inquiry, and I don't think he did so in a disrespectful manner. I think J.D. Vance got defensive when he didn't know how to necessarily answer the question, and that's not okay. That's not very vice president like J.D. Vance. Now, J.D. Vance is somebody I've watched consistently, and I think he's a great speaker. I think he's very intelligent. He's very intelligent to the point where he knows how to say certain things to get people riled up. We watched this with Tampon Tim, the VP. I'm sorry. What's his name? Oh, Lord. I was about to call him Tim Pool, but that's not his name. Lord, we're just going to call him Tampon Tim, Lord. Tim Waltz, pardon me. I just came. You guys have to forgive me. Tim Waltz, his vice president debate with Tim Waltz, you could easily tell he was saying what he needed to say, very smart, very sure of himself, very confident. But he got Tim Waltz riled up. You could tell, like, I did a whole show on this, his eyes widen. He was not sure what he had to say. Just something about the way he speaks that you get defensive, because it's so good, but also like kind of like low key, like an attack too. Right? So he did the same tactic, I believe, to Zelenskyy, and Zelenskyy, either hasn't studied him the way I did, it wasn't prepared, or couldn't handle, what was happening. So then he responds. Then Zelenskyy responds to the disrespect comment. Like, whoa, hold on. He's like, you have nice oceans. He mentions in America, you have nice oceans. He's like, you don't feel, but you will in the future. You don't feel, meaning you don't feel the pain and suffering Ukrainian people are going through right now. I'm going through right now, but you will one day. And then after that, President Donald Trump was like, oh, no, you're not going to tell us how we're going to feel. Now that I feel like was very disrespectful, saying that he, you don't feel what we're going through, but you will. It was kind of like a subtle, like maybe a threat, maybe like you will feel it, like you're going to go through some type of war that's going to, kill off a bunch of your people and you're going to witness a bunch of losses as well. It was definitely, yes, very disrespectful again. So President Donald Trump, responding to that, yes, was very disrespectful. And then that conversation, yeah, but initially I don't think Zelenskyy was disrespecting JD Vance. I don't think he, all of a sudden wanted to be disrespectful. Again, mind you, this is 10 minutes that are after the first 40 minutes of this meeting, and he doesn't say anything disrespectful or shady toward President Donald Trump, not that I saw. In the initial 40 minutes, it's only these last 10 minutes. And after he responds to JD Vance that he says the things about you don't feel, but you will feel, and again, it was so hard to understand a lot of the things Zelenskyy was saying because of his strong accent. But again, I think when I speak about language barrier, I think maybe he might have meant something, maybe not meant it as rough as the way he said it. But me hearing that, I always like to give people the benefit of the doubt. But again, if I was in the president's shoes, I would have taken that to heart. I would have probably responded just the same way he did. I would have been like, what? The nerve, what? Cause it's like, again, it's like you're coming here asking for help. You need our help. Other countries have said it explicitly. Other presidents have said, you have our help, but you really need American help to really flourish. And that's absolutely true. But you come here saying you're going to feel soon what it is. You don't feel what I'm going through now, but you are going to feel it soon. Like that's not the way you want to talk to somebody whose help you need. You don't bite the hand that feeds you, all that good stuff. So again, yes, I think he was being disrespectful in that remark. Maybe it would have been nice to have a little bit more clarity if maybe Donald Trump allowed him to speak a little more. I noticed President Donald Trump would interrupt Zelenskyy a lot, and a lot of people were saying he was doing that, interrupting him a lot. But he put on the meeting, rightfully so. But there were some things I really did want Zelenskyy to expound on when he was speaking, because I really wanted to, besides the, it was hard for me to understand things he's saying. I think he was saying a lot of interesting things. He's saying things I didn't know about, right? It was like politics is something I'm very new on. I was kind of all intrigued in it when the election was happening, but after that I've kind of, shifted more to societal things happen in our culture. But now, I'm really intrigued now. I really want to learn, and the only way I'm going to learn is hearing people that are in it speak. So I've heard Donald Trump speak a lot, but I haven't heard a lot from Zelenskyy. So I really wanted him to speak more, even if I disagree with them. I have no problem listening to people I disagree with, because I just want to hear their perspective, and maybe their perspective would have me, change my perspective on things. But anyway, I think, Trump even saying stuff like, you don't have the cards, was true, but it was funny seeing Zelensky's response. He was like, I'm not playing cards. Again, it's a language barrier thing. Like he's like thinking you're talking about, playing games, like in a sense where, I'm not being serious. He's like, no. Like, I'm not playing games. It means dead serious. But what Trump means that we know for him to mean is that you don't have the authority to do what it is you're doing. Right. But again, when English isn't your first language, it's hard to understand sometimes what people actually mean in the context of a situation and a conversation. So I think there should have been a little bit more of grace on Zelensky's end. I don't think he was trying to be disrespectful at all. I don't think, other than him not wearing a suit, which I think was disrespectful, I don't think he was initially trying to come for JD Vance. I don't think he was initially trying to come for Donald Trump. President Donald Trump, I think this conversation was very interesting to watch. I'm glad that, toward the end, President Donald Trump was like, I'm glad that everybody gets to see this. Everybody gets to have their opinion, which is great. Yes, this has not happened, I don't think, ever. I don't think, or at least not when Joe Biden was president. So that's absolutely true. It was very interesting to watch and to see everybody form their opinion on what happened. But again, the media has to get better at, giving context to the full video. I know people have the attention span of like a toddler, but, it's just 40 minutes. The fact that nobody's talking about at least seeing the clip in this entirety, except the people in the comments on the video. It's just like, let me stop saying nobody, not a majority. The people talking the loudest haven't seen this clip in their entirety. Let me say that. So, yeah, it's unfortunate because, again, I gained a whole different perspective on this video after I watched the full clip of what happened, the full video, pardon me, of what happened. Initially, I was with everybody. I was like, why is this Zelenskyy coming into the Oval Office disrespecting our president? What is going on? But no. And if he had been disrespectful the whole time, if he had said threats the whole time, I would have been like, oh, yeah, I would have still had that opinion. But now looking back and seeing what he was doing, showing those pictures, trying to, he was answering questions by the reporters. He said, thank you. The fact that JD Vance was like, JD Vance asked Zelenskyy if he said thank you throughout this interview. And I was just like, what? JD Vance, were you not there for the first 40 minutes? The first 5 minutes, he said thank you after Donald Trump was introducing him and speaking about what was about to transpire. He said thank you twice. He said thank you, and then thank you for having me. And I don't know if he specifically meant say thank you for what President Donald Trump has done, all the money he sent over and all that. But since he wasn't clear, we can throw it up for speculation. He definitely did say the words thank you, though. Zelenskyy definitely said the words thank you. So that was unfair. I think overall, again, I said again, JD Vance was being unfair. Even though I like him a whole lot, I can acknowledge when somebody is doing wrong or something I don't agree with him doing. And I think that was more of an attack on Zelenskyy than need be. I think that, again, I don't know. I think JD Vance wanted to say a lot because the initial 40 minutes, JD Vance didn't say anything. Vice President JD Vance didn't say anything. It was only until these last 10 minutes that he really spoke. And maybe there were a lot of things he wanted to say during the first 40 minutes that he didn't get to say. And that riled him up to be, defensive and mean toward the end. I don't know. Some people were saying this was scripted. Everybody knew it was going to happen. Donald Trump speaking back to him. It was all a plan to get riled up with whatever. It didn't matter what Zelenskyy said. It was a plan to, jab him toward the end. I don't know. We can only go on based off what we see. That's what I'm going based off of. But I thought it was very interesting, toward the end. Even Donald Trump's attacks, like I got that initial response when Donald Trump was like, you're not going to tell us what we're going to see, to Zelensky's like, oh, you're going to see this. But after that, President Donald Trump was saying, like, you don't hold the cards, you need to relax. You're playing with World War III. I think that was a little stretched. That was a little much. I don't think he was trying to be disrespectful. I don't think Zelenskyy wants this war. I think he's willing to compromise. There was so much mention of people compromising. I think he's willing to compromise. Maybe not as much as we both like, but I think it's in the cards. So I don't know. This just seemed like an attack on Zelenskyy. He looked thrown off. His reaction seemed to be genuine to me. Again, I'm a very good people reader, but I could be completely wrong. Who knows? There could have been conversations held before, a conversation that was had afterwards. That I don't know. Now they're okay now. I don't know. But we can only go based off what we saw. And it looked really like Zelenskyy was thrown off on, being called disrespectful and, cut off so many times trying to explain maybe what it is he meant. It seemed like, I don't think that's fair. And a lot of people, on the left and the liberals, people that just hate Trump were saying this is unfair too. And I wanted to be so against what they were saying, right? But for me, I look at logical I look at everything with a logic mind. I don't let my feelings get the best of me. I don't want to disagree with someone just because they disagree with me or whatever. So I was just like, no, I think they're in the right here. I think they went in on Zelenskyy, and I don't know if I agree with how it went down. But everybody's opinion. That's just mine, guys. But it's so interesting reporting on stuff like this days later because so much happens. So, you guys, the SNL skit was put out a couple days ago, a day after this event. And this SNL skit really, I won't say irritated me, but I was just like, SNL is not as funny as it used to be. And it was just like right before this, I saw the Not Like Us performance SNL did. And it's just, SNL shows how much of a joke they really believe our country and things that are happening in our community with the Not Like Us skit. They really see us as a joke. Like, it's supposed to be funny and people are laughing at it, but behind every joke there's truth, right? And the truth is the people at SNL don't take our country seriously. They don't take our presidency seriously, and it's not okay. I think this is the most serious president we've had in a long time. And again, I'm always good for a laugh. I love to laugh. But at the same time, I didn't find it funny. People were talking about how funny it was. I didn't crack not even a smile in the SNL joke SNL skit, because it just wasn't funny. And people are like, it's so close to what happened. I'm like, no, it's not. People that did not watch the full clip, I'm like, no, it's not what happened at all. And I don't know why they decided to incorporate Elon Musk into it. If you just type in SNL skit about the Oval Office or something like that with Donald Trump, it'll pop up. They threw Elon Musk in there for whatever reason, and I was just like, and making him seem like he was this crazy person just with this chainsaw and all this and switching up from being super crazy to being super composed. It was just like, I get being extreme to try to be funny, but again, I just didn't find it funny. I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it. But whatever. Some people liked it. It seemed like a lot of people liked it, actually, but I just wasn't one of those people. The people that are mad about this interview taking place, I will say just people that are mad this was recorded and that President Donald Trump sat down with this guy. I mean, why are you mad? These people are mad at that President Donald Trump has the power they wish they had. I said this in a tweet the other day. I'm like, you. Chris Brown said it best. How you hating outside the club? You can't even get in. I posted that too on my Instagram. It's like, you're mad at somebody who commands respect, demands respect. Like, regardless of this Zelenskyy not agreeing with Donald Trump or, having an argument with President Donald Trump, you could tell he respected him. Sometimes he would talk over him, but when Donald Trump spoke and continued to speak, he would shut up because he has a respect for him. That wouldn't have happened if he sat down with former President Joe Biden. I dang near guarantee you, because there was nothing respectable about that man. Nothing. He gave millions, billions. I'm sure. I think I read that, to Ukraine, and they were still at war. Did nothing. Just like JD Vance said, it said a lot, did nothing. And nobody can respect a man like that. Men are about action. Real men are about what they do, not just about what they say. And this man demanded respect. Now, if you ask me, y'all heard my take. If this was a situation where he had to, command and demand respect from the response where he maybe thought he was being disrespectful, I don't know about that, but it doesn't matter. He's respectable. He did what he had to do, and the fact that, he shared it with us, he didn't have to do that. He could have, had that meeting, kept it to himself, kept it to JD Vance, and continuing on his day. but it just shows he cares what America thinks. He cares to show you guys what is happening. Y'all can stay at stage or whatever. It's like y'all can say that to the day this man is out of office, but there's no hardcore proof about that. What is hardcore proof is that it was shown in the first place. How are you mad that he sat down somebody to try to come to an agreement for peace? So that people could stop being killed unnecessarily. How are you mad at that? It makes no freaking sense. But that's all I got to say about that, guys. This was very interesting. I think there's going to be more meetings that happen on camera, and I was going to be very interested to see the rest of those when they happen. Yeah, because this was very interesting. And again, I am into politics, but not as into it as I should be. I'm doing my research. I'm watching Fox News. I'm researching. I'm reading books. So yeah, I'm getting into it more and more every day. But the fact that I'm interested and I can just learn a lot just by opening my eyes to what's happening in front of me. It's very enlightening, very interesting, very humbling to say the least. So that's all I have to say about that. Please like this video, guys. If you like this video, please comment always. If you agree with me or if you disagree, you think that Zelenskyy definitely did disrespect JD Vance and he responded in a proper way, let me know, guys. I'm all for the debate. Just promise to keep it respectful. Subscribe if you haven't already, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Aquel día el instinto nos decía que esa noche juntico no quería, que las ganas bebé nos ganaría, pero no fue así. Vamos lento, ya que si nos apuramos no disfrutamos del momento, ya, y lo vamos a arruinar. Dale lento, ya, dile a tus amigas que hoy no vas para afuera, que estás en la escuela y vamos a jugar. Ella sabe que quiero a mi mamacita. Ella también quiere que seamos felices. Ella, la que se apresura a la vueltica. Ella es sin timidez. Como la ves no le importa dónde y cuándo. Pero nada no es, yo no soy el que la mando. Nunca lo seré, su carácter no es de niña, que la puede controlar cualquiera. Y me encanta, yo lo sé, independiente. Vamos lento y verás, y me encanta, yo lo sé, independiente. Vamos lento y verás. Vamos lento, ya, que si nos apuramos no disfrutamos del momento, ya, y lo vamos a arruinar. Dale lento, ya, dile a tus amigas que hoy no vas para afuera, que estás en la escuela y vamos. Los 7 días de la semana te doy de mañana y consejos sabes que no es. Te doy el desquite, que me quites todas esas ganas que te tengo muerto. Todo el mundo sabe que tú y yo somos más que panas, pero nos vamos lento, que al que se apura no llega a nada, no llega a nada, nada. Y me encanta, yo lo sé, independiente, bebé. Vamos lento y verás, y me encanta, yo lo sé, independiente, vamos lento y verás. Vamos lento, ya, que si nos apuramos no disfrutamos